What a fake join, dude. Kyla. How you doing? We finally got our Spongebob. We also got a bunch of DLCs all at once. Is Bob looking nice? Yep. I was super upset. Mystery is back. What's up? My German brother. What kind of vehicle is that? It's the paddy wagon from SpongeBob. I gotta say, they altered the design from what I kind of wanted it to be, but it's still pretty solid, I'm not gonna lie. The fact that I still get to live this dream is all I really want. How much is it? I think it's 20 bucks for everything. You get a pretty good goal explosion too. Thank you for the $1 euro or €1 mystery, appreciate it. All right, we went mad negative at the end of our Rocket League stream last night, so I got this is entirely a redemption run back. Nice. So sign extra 10 me codes, IMO, and gotta tweet. Yo, you gotta create videos. Yeah, they sent me a code for this. They sent me one for the Harry Potter one, which I'm not gonna use. They sent me one for the Daft Punk's, the Daft Punk bundle. They sent me one for, there's a BMW collab, I think, coming out. I don't know exactly what it's from, but it looked pretty cool. Apparently it doesn't work before 4 p.m. PT, so that's why I'm not using it. Today's stream is about the SpongeBob. This is the DLC that literally the entire creator Discord exploded when this came out. They're like, I need this. They're like, I absolutely need this. You need to give this to me as fast as possible. Kyle, thank you for the 575. All right, let's see how it is, see how it is, see how it is.
Why won't you use one of them?
Why won't you use the Harry Potter one? I don't like supporting J.K. Rowling. She's just not a person I enjoy. That was really delayed for no reason. I gotta stop doing that. Oh. Hit a Cuxer pinch in free play after this match? Okay. I will go for that. I did not get code Sky only tweet. I mean, that's part of it, yeah. Also, something people don't understand is that, like, all the creators in the program are, like, also, like, very... Ooh. My bad. Half of it is just, like, the creators in the program are, like, actually brand safe. I actually really support Alpha Cap and what he does, and I think I'm so happy he's getting as much success as he is. But all his fans complaining that he's not in the creator program or getting, like, shoutouts from Psionics. It's kind of funny when half his Twitter feed is insulting Epic employees directly, and the other half is him making very crude sexual references and being very explicit, I would say, in his streams. And I'm like, are you actually surprised this company that manages and develops an E-rated game is not flying you out to lands as a representative? Like, this isn't COD, you know? I don't know, I just find it funny. That works. Call this one. Ooh, no! That was actually kind of funny. I don't know if he actually saw it coming or if he just tried to cut. Is Octane hitbox? I think so. How's the vehicle handling? I like it. It feels like an Octane. That's all I really want. Oh! Nice. Truth nuke. Am I not brand safe because I tweet political stuff? No, I don't think that's a problem. It's just that you're not a creator in the sense that the creator program is meant to be. Like, if we gave you a creator code, like, one of the rules of the creator program is that you don't give away codes. It's why you stop seeing Rocket Pass giveaway, because they change that stuff. So the thing is, like, unless you are actively going to be making and producing videos on your Twitter, I don't really know if you'd classify as a creator for their sense. Like, you are a creator in the sense that you are tweeting out things off the dome and whatnot, and you're getting a lot of likes, but it's not really the same as what their definition is, which is, like, I'd say more traditional, like, video-based content creator. Oh, good little bump. I saw him kind of gravitate toward the sideline. I'm like, do you actually have that? Uh-oh, buddy, that's really bad. Never done a giveaway. We got one is here for a FIFA E-Rev. I mean, you can still market that stuff. You can get brand deal and stuff. You can like take ads or whatever if you ever want to leverage that. The thing is like you're not classified as a creator within the Rocket League sense. Because I don't think they really care about the occasional political tweet or something that's not necessarily like brand safe. It's more so just like, what's your rep in the scene? I think that's where Alpha Cap is getting kind of, people say targeted or unfairly kind of like condemned, but I'm like, I don't know, man. I mean, he does a lot of stuff that is not really conducive to helping market Rocket League in the way that they want to, so. That goal exponent is top tier. Oh, but I'm telling you. I like how it's like a 3D model too. I thought it'd just be like a little like 2D image or something, but actually no, you just like get the full like layout of their neighborhood, which is kind of sweet. No! Oh man, I over pursued it. That was actually very obvious what he's trying to do, and I still didn't jump the correct time. W car taco? Oh, I know. SpongeBob burger car. No. I hit the brakes because I assumed that guy was going to hit it off the near post, and I was like, I don't want to over pursue. And then he actually just lobbed it directly at me. What a brain dead goal. Holy. Crazy. Red Twitter content has entered the 2 rage bait territory. I don't know, I haven't seen your tweets lately. My feed is like always changing. I will say the one thing that is absolutely ass about Twitter though is that it niches you really hard. Like I've realized lately, like if I tweet anything in regard to RLCS or, sorry, I love shorts that I forgot. What's the hitbox? I believe it's an Octane. It feels like an Octane. Can it be fixed? Twitch chat in the corner. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot. I muted it yesterday when we were doing E33. Per your recommendation too, so in a way, it's your fault. Oh, we got Aspect again. If we win this one, he'll be my best friend. Ooh. Oh no, he bumped me, dude. Shame. Okay. Oh, sorry, Aspect. I assumed you would not do exactly what you just did. On for it. I'll tell in the chat that you can turn off the live chat. No. You said, could you mute the chat in the top right? I took that to mean you were telling me to do it so you could see more of the screen. If you were talking to the other, okay, then that's fair. I wasn't saying your request. It's your fault you did it, idiot. I was more so just saying, like, I remember you telling me to do that, and that inspired me to be like, oh, right, I should probably turn that off if it's blocking the screen. Now, Aspect is one of my least favorite twos players, in that he'll chase a ball and then not commit to it, and then he'll kind of stare at it for a little bit, and you're like, okay, you don't have it then. And then he won't go and won't go and won't go. And then he'll suddenly go, and then it'll be like, dude, why'd you go? I'm like, well, because you weren't going. Like, what was I supposed to think? That you were just going to wait for 9 minutes? That's okay. Oh. All right, I'm definitely feeling very yikes right now in terms of mechs. We should have warmed up more. We are starting also like an hour and a half before we normally do, so. the brain prepares to play at 7 o'clock. And when it's 5:30 my time, that is not 7. I don't think you got there that fast, but okay, teammate should, never mind. He saw 1v1 with the guy backpedaling like crazy and decided to immediately flick that. I don't know if I'd understand that decision. That's a good play. I'm gonna assume you're gonna stang with that. Close one. I should hit that a little bit more along the edge. Bang. That's a hit. That's a hit, chat. Leave the old man alone a little bit. Like, I know I see what Mayers and Oscar tweets do fine. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, my tweets, I tweet about literally anything else, and I can tell my impressions are, like, non-existent. And I tweet about RLCS and leave it for an hour or two, and I'm up to 200, 300 likes. It's like, I feel like I've just been, like, hyper bottlenecked, and I don't really understand what's going on there. Like, I even tweet stuff that, which is funny, because, like, I'll tweet stuff, like, on replies, and those replies will do fine. Like, they'll do exactly the number of likes on a viral tweet that I would expect them to do. But, I don't know, just any content I try to make that isn't explicitly focused on RLCS does not do near the numbers that it really used to, I feel like. If you're getting exposure on everything, then maybe it's genuinely a skill issue or something, but I don't know, I just find it kind of weird. I've noticed this with other commentators in the space as well. Like, Bass and I have complained about this a lot. He'll tweet some stuff out and it doesn't really get traction, and then suddenly he'll try to tweet about RLCS and he gets like 500 likes, and he's like, I hate how I can only tweet about one thing. And it's like, yep, that's just how it is. Hello, David W. Carr. Indeed. You could argue this isn't even a car. Whoa. I like how I just gave up on that last one. To drive a sandwich. Yep. Oh. Thank you, Aspect. Oh, that's a really good bounce for me. Easy one, Aspect. Oh, you really over pursued that. Okay, got that ground pinch. That kind of ruined him. Nice double Aspect. All right, see, we got the win this time, Aspect. That guy was completely unbothered. That's really funny. Also, I've learned previously I shouldn't be pre-jumping. Whenever they need to do like a coast-to-coast air dribble, I should just leave it alone. I'm pushing for Bass. I saw an MLB tweet from him. His take was abysmal, so I didn't like it. Well, he is a Giants fan, so. I expect your new best friend. He is. Yeah, we won. He didn't say anything, but I know that he just bought my merch. So, that's what matters. He's complained about the MLB 2026 power rankings, but his criticism made no sense. That's an old tweet. I remember that tweet. I don't remember what he was saying. I think he was probably complaining about the Giants being underranked because they did something great. Why do you never dribble? Because, wait, what? I did dribble in that game and the previous one. Probably because in GC 2 and 3, you're gonna get pressured so fast that it doesn't really make sense to dribble, and everyone's really good at, everyone's very good at shadow defense, so half the time they're not even pressing you. A flick really only works when you're trying to generate quick pressure to get someone to aerial or challenge, or someone specifically like early challenging. Ooh, like it when I cut before the boost. Huge fan. Nice. He was complaining about it. No. What about no? Like it was. I think it was about the Giants. I wanted to say the tweet was like, oh, so we we had better records than these people, but we don't get a better thing than whatever. And I don't know what you meant. Like maybe it was a different thing, but that's a tweet I remember. I don't really follow the MLB that much, nor do care about the MLB much. So I think in terms of broadcasted sports products, I do think MLB playoffs are probably among the very best. It was actually really cool. I complimented the Fox broadcast and said like the audio mixing is so incredibly well done. And the actual audio mixer, like the guy in charge of it for Fox, replied to my tweet like, thanks, man. I was like, oh, cool. Only on modern social media could that happen. What? What? He didn't like where some people were ranked because he was basing everything off 2025 performance, didn't take into consideration expected roster moves. Blue Jays just beat the pants off the Yankees and the Astros and Mets did make plus. Also, where the frick is Detroit? Like, maybe not the best of the best, but not even top 10 will make it to the LDS. How do the roster moves affect that necessarily? Keep in mind, I do not know roster moves, so I'm asking genuinely, like, what affects that? Oh no. Also, I think if stuff like that had like an asterisk on it, I think that would be a little bit better if they were like, this is based off expected roster moves, not just like performance. I thought I had it. There's a very chance Scooble gets traded because he's aspiring. They're not top 10 roster without him. All right. Hey, God's Thunder Buddy. It says 2026 power ranking. Well, yeah, I mean, you're not going to do 2025 power. It does make sense to do a power ranking after everything is played. It's why we don't do a top 10 power ranking after the season for Champ League, because it doesn't really make sense. Like, we already know where everyone finished. At that point, those rosters aren't playing anymore, so it's like, oh, they have a chance to go up the ranking. How? Like, like during what? Like, power rankings are only interesting if players can move up and down, so a summative end of season ranking doesn't really make sense. Oh. Chris, peeking? No, didn't want it. Didn't expect you to go that way. Chris, I love you, but you gotta stop doing that. Okay. Oh, you actually just hit it as hard as possible. I don't even know if that was necessarily a pass. Ooh, I hate everything about that. Okay, well, hi, Detrox. Oh, and a player leaps over the catcher for a score. I miss those days. Whatever happened to the rule where you could barrel into the catcher? I missed that. Oh, we know when to injure players. All right, but whatever. Some hair on your chest, baseball players. I know you can't grow hair anymore because of all the testosterone abuse, but... Ooh. Or all the steroid abuse, but... Now that they've mostly banned steroid use. Put some hair on your chest. GC, where do you stand on unwritten rules? I feel like baseball is the most like superstitious, don't do this, don't do X, blah, blah, blah. I remember a full-on brawl almost opened up because someone kept walking across the pitcher's mound or something between innings and the pitcher was starting to scream at the guy. And they're like clearing benches and stuff to pull them apart. I'm like, dude, it's not that deep. Oh my God. Most of them are dumb. Yeah. I see some of them. I'm like, I get that. But like, I don't know, man. I always thought not sliding into first was stupid. I don't even know if that's an unwritten rule, but I've always like, isn't the whole point to get on base? Like, if I could get safe by headfirst diving into first, I'm gonna do that. Or at least sliding feet first. 90% of the time, the first baseman's foot is in front of the bag. It's on the side because he's, you know, he's fielding from the inside of the field. Pay attention to Bass's baseball teams. Most of the dome, it's slower to slide into first. Well, I don't know. Well, okay, well, it's just that there's a couple times where like players are just kind of, I will say, part of my frustration with people not sliding and doing something is it's more about the effort. I always get pissed off watching players ground to third or ground to shortstop, and then the guy grounding catches it, goes, and then throws, and then it gets to the first base, and the guy gets beat by literally like 1/10 of a second. But when you watch the replay, he's like slow jogging to first. I'm like, if you actually just ran through that, I almost feel like you'd get on base like 10-15% more. Like, I understand these guys aren't built for speed 90% of the time, but it's really funny watching these dudes just jog every time they ground out. And you're just like, buddy, you get so close even when they're taking their time. It's because the guy was taking it. No, but that's the thing, is like, it's funny to watch, like, even when it's fielded cleanly or something, or maybe they take an extra half second to just make sure they have the grip and aim, they'll throw and it'll barely get there in time. I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, I've seen plays like Yankees used to have a player. I'm trying to remember the frick his name. I don't know how many years ago this was, but I remember every time he would ground out, he would just put his head down and sprint as hard as possible, and he would get first singles even when he would ground to the infield just because of that. Like, the guy would take an extra half second to field it and then throw the ball over, and it wouldn't make it in time. And I'm like, imagine how many more players, like, what their batting average would be if they actually just started committing to that. Especially since baseball is not like necessarily a cardio-based sport. Like, it's not like you're covering miles and miles of run. Like, all you're doing is like running maybe once an inning. Most fielders don't even run that much, unless you're an outfielder and your pitcher's giving away a lot of pop shots. Most physically demanding part of the game is just standing for a majority of it. when you're standing on the field or in the dugout. Brett Gardner's my forever #1. I remember him. That was my stepdad's favorite player. Sliding in slower than a full sprint though? Well, then people need a full sprint is my point. Oh, that's a really good bump. That's crazy he got 2. That's actually insane. Oh, I was gonna pass to you, but that works too. My bad. Shouldn't have gone for that. Even though I got that beat, teammate's not even there, so. Holy hard carry. Cookie is literally backpacking the shit out of this guy. Brett Gardner, avid bird watcher. It's not pulling a hammy. If these guys are pulling a hammy by sprinting as fast as possible once every, like, 6 innings, then I don't even want to see them play. How are you a professional athlete if that's damaging you? I don't know if teammate has touched the ball this game. I'm gonna be dead ass. Oh my god. I was looking up at the clock. I'm like, man, this game has been really trickling by. And I'm like, nope, we're like a minute and a half in. It's not even close. You'd be surprised. These people are pathetic, dude. I don't know. Like, there's injuries and whatnot, but I always find it really pathetic when these dudes get injured off stuff, like routine stuff like that. I also feel like maybe it's just like availability bias. I feel like a lot of Achilles injuries are happening to like people. There was a trainer that was saying it's because they don't practice dynamically anymore. So some of these like fast twitch movements that they have to do in games that they don't practice enough is because they're so injury focused that they don't practice hard. And so when you don't practice hard, you don't have that like same level of prep. So then occasionally you get into a game, do a quick cut or something you're not super conditioned on, and then suddenly it goes out the window. And people are like, well, aren't they practicing that hard? And I'm like, well, not always, so you gotta be aware. Ah. Okay, I remember playing with Bondman, and I actively wanted to decapitate him, so let's see if things have changed today. Okay, in the NBA, yeah, I mean that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the MLB. I don't know how often they're tearing their Achilles in the MLB. I would feel like you're probably tearing it if you're like trying to quickly change direction on like a base stealing situation. But I don't know how often, like day to day, you're tearing that. Baseball is all elbow and shoulder. I mean, throwing the ball is like one of the most single-handedly destructive things you can do to your arm. I mean, you can tell just from like, even if you're like an amateur athlete, try to take a baseball or a tennis ball and throw it as hard as possible and just feel how your muscles are like, oh, I can't do that. Preston, you would 100% know if I did. Oh boy. The Halliburton Game 7. I'm truly convinced that we got robbed of one of the greatest Game 7s. Especially since Halliburton was kind of cooking in the beginning of that game. That tear was just so deflating. You could tell immediately everybody up from a Pacers perspective was just kind of like lean back, like, of course that would happen, you know? His arm is going to be pulled pork by the time he's 28. I'm always kind of blown away seeing those games from like Nolan Ryan where he had like 140 pitches and you're like, buddy, how is your arm still attached to your body? That actually was a very cool touch for a double tap, but I didn't expect that flick to be so straight. His arm and delivery is too violent. Yeah, some people do have like a mechanics aspect to their game where I'm like, how does that work for you? I like those pitchers who do that like full like Dancer of the Boreal Valley type approach from Dark Souls, where they throw the ball kind of like they swing their arm underneath and they're basically pivoting their whole body 90 degrees whenever they pitch. I always thought that was like the craziest wind up. Man, if only you had the doctor in here. He's an avid Mets fan. My point was more so how rare Achilles injury in baseball is the most notable one in recent times is celebrating. Yeah, that's really funny. That's a good point. But yeah, pitchers definitely are abused people because they are constantly dealing critical damage to their shoulder and elbow. I mean, I think both the two pitchers we've had in the community that were pretty high-level pitchers, M-Dog and Hypnos, I think both their careers ended because they had injuries. Find sidearm summary pitches to be fun to watch. I just don't understand how it's replicable. The fact that they're doing that, I thought that was like a specific pitch, you know, like they do that for a specific pitch to like deliver. But then watching them do it like every time, I'm like, huh? This is why the Yankees Cam Schlitter outside of Yankees bias. He throws his 100-mile-per-hour fastball, or so effortlessly because the velocity came from him hitting a random growth spurt, not some crazy delivery. Well, also makes sense why pitchers are all tall from like a mechanics standpoint. I generally wonder like what a 5'8" guy could generate pitching wise, because he just doesn't have like the physics of like that longer arc when he throws a pitch. That's a sports science episode I wanted. Like how much of an MPH pitch can a 5'8" guy do? And also, is there a benefit to having a shorter arm and smaller hand in pitching? Or is it only just penalized? I'd be curious to hear like a pitcher's perspective on that. AFK teammate's my favorite? Yes, I love queuing a game and then not doing anything. Oh, he left, okay. Markstrom is 5'7", he was throwing 94. It's not bad. Let's go, was throwing 100 at 5'11". Well, 5'11" is still pretty tall. That's why I'm saying like 5'8", because like that stuff scales. Like with your like wingspan and breadth as you get taller. It's also why genetically there's like certain, I think it was Phelps who's like a mutant basically because he has like an abnormally long wingspan as compared to what his height is proportionally. And I think the same is with LeBron. I think technically his wingspan is slightly wider than what it should be. If you're below 6 foot as a pitcher, I mean, yeah, but if you're 5'11" versus 6 foot, I mean, as much as we want to watch the 5'11" versus 6 foot memes, like that, you're still tall-ish. I freaking love these winter maps, dude. I wish they always had them in. I think we just need to play fast, chat. I feel like I'm watching myself play slow and everyone else play slow, and I just gotta go. Oh. I guess that's what happens when you go fast. Bro did not know it was about to hit him. Oh, I went really at the ball for no reason. All right, you gotta catch and flick. He did not flick. Love that. It'll roll, or not. Oh man, what a horrible cut. Oh, how to get part of that? Spawn? That's crazy that didn't spawn. I saw him jump early, and I was like, I don't really have the boost to be able to get that on top of my hood again. No boost steal, okay. Oh, it spawned right as he got there. Sad. All right, bonk. Catch. Nice. Love the car. Thank you, Terry. Mello with 100 boost, doesn't use any of it to use his air dribble, takes his time on the setup even though he knows there's 2 players around him and there's a fast break. I will never understand these people. Oh. Well, half of it is me just like assuming, and that's the hardest part about twos, is trying to play around your teammate. I kind of understand why the meta for a lot of like disaffected twos players is kind of just like do my own thing, because like half the time when I'm like rolling my eyes at this stuff, it's just because I'm like, well, Melo's 100 boost, he's got an air dribble, the setup is perfect, everything is coming together, the other team is really on the other side of the field and they're not prepared, so yeah, let's just go for it. And then instead of going for it, teammate just kind of sits there and kind of stares, and I'm like, just freaking, just go, and then he doesn't, and we get scored on because I was anticipating him to do, in my mind, the obvious thing, but that's what I have to keep reminding myself. I just have to play as if my teammate is always at risk of effing up, and I just need to play, not safe, but play, like, presumptive of those outcomes. Like, yeah, if the teammate gets bumped by those guys, if he gets solo play, that's whatever, that's just twos. But when it comes to, like, situations where, like, we gotta be on that stuff, that's gotta be a goal. Then, I don't know, you gotta play at least a little close. Nice, Mello. Okay, redemption right there. Goal explosion clean. Oh, I love it. Car is beautiful. Thank you. I'm spamming. Spongebob car for real. Be ripping. Sick boost. Unfortunately, no one has it. Also, it's crazy. You're about to get absolutely demolished here. Oh, I delayed a little bit. It's okay, teammate. Sick demo, by the way. I'm gonna trust teammate to catch. No! Ah! Oh my god, he hit it right down the middle. I almost like shit myself. I'm like, did you actually just roll at the only guy who could do anything with that? Oh, that's really funny. I figured that'd be trickier for them if I slowed it down, but honestly, looking back, probably could have made do with more. Okay, I understand what he just did there. Do not turn for that. Oh, unfort. He turned away, so I figured I was good to go. All right, we're just gonna protect that. It's fine. Oh my god. I actually was looking at them down the line. I thought the ball was actually moving up and not over. I'm a bad player. That should not have been as close as it was. That's a free one, though. Okay, cool. Ooh. Like Stroman and Bobby Chance, the only guys with them, the short guys who like baseball just come hitters. That's kind of my thought. How tall is Altuve? He's like, I think he's got to be the shortest player in the MLB, right? He's like 5'7", 5'6". Nah, he's not 5'6". He's got to be like 5'7", though. It was funny because in college, in high school and college, I was always like the shortest player on my soccer team. I was, I mean, well, everyone knows I'm 6'10", but you know, everyone was taller than me in school. So it was really funny doing like, we'd do like tape review. And as we were fast forwarding, my coach would always be like, hold on, we're gonna watch the national anthem. And it would just scan all the players on the photo team, the referees in the middle, and then our team. And since I was announced first, I'd be all the way at the end of the line. And it would just be like all these players super, super tall, and then just me, boop, and then back to the tall people. It'd be really funny. I was like well below the average. You still play soccer, Sunday League? I have not, honestly. I would probably be more willing to get into a Sunday League if I had my car again, just because I don't really want to have to like pay to be in a Sunday League and then also pay like, I mean, Dallas, Fort Worth area, like Uber prices are insane. So just getting to a game there and back would be like $60, $70. So I know I'm near UTD, and I know a couple people at UTD who play soccer. So honestly, I'd probably want to hit those guys up and see if I'd be able to like crash a intramural or something. Granted, we'll see how much conditioning it takes me to get back into that, because it's been a while since my cardio has been able to compete at that level. I played pickup soccer a while back when I was like 27, 28. And surprisingly, the form was actually not bad. Like I was able to play and be fine, like defensively and offensively, but my God, the conditioning was terrible, dude. I make one run downfield and be like, wow, my whole body feels like it's on fire right now. So yeah, definitely need to get the cardio back. Embarrassing. He meant to get the catch and missed, and they tried to cover it, but got to be aware anytime there's a player right next to you. Wait, I just realized the engine startup sound for this Krabby Patty thing is the click of a propane grill. Or it's like a pilot light thing, like a good save. I think that was off target, but no, that was not the roll I wanted. All right, let's play more protective. I thought like I gave him enough time to get there. I bumped the guy. He bumped the guy. He was already on the wall, so I'm like, oh, he'll get there. But then he slowed down for the read, and that's what doomed him. Sometimes you just gotta go through your reads instead of trying to constantly get like the flawless touch or setup. Especially in twos, like 90% of the time there's a guy chasing you for a bump. Oh, there's a 90% of the time there's a guy chasing you for a touch. So it's like you can't be like, now let's see, where does this touch go? Oh, can I touch you? Oh, what? Just like all this nonsense. Oh my God, this is such an outclassing. GG's. There's another classic example of one side is actually capable of playing at a higher rank, and then the other side is very much not. All right, well, that's a bad angle for 50. I do like soccer, though. I do try to watch it a bit more, but admittedly, I haven't really kept up with sports. I find keeping up with sports kind of exhausting. I like just watching the occasional highlights, just so I know. I will say, as a sales guy, keeping up with sports is actually such a cheat code, because if you'll ever, you know, run into a guy at a conference and he's wearing like an Arizona card. This is a true story. It was like one of my clients that I actually just picked up was because I was at a conference and they were wearing a Cardinals jersey, and so immediately I was like, hey, sorry about Murray, but hey, Brissett's looking pretty good. And he's like, I don't know. And he started like talking about stuff. We were just kind of like trash talking back and forth. He's like, oh, what, you're from Texas? You look like Dallas. I'm like, no, I wouldn't inflict that psychic damage on myself. I wouldn't do that. And he was just laughing back and forth. And I'm like, sports is a cool thing for like low-key conversations with strangers. Like, you can form a conversation with anybody as long as you know generic things about the sport they like. And I always thought that was kind of a cool aspect of sports and culture. Because you try to strike up a conversation with most strangers, it's kind of like a little friction and whatever. But like, if you see a guy rocking a jersey of a team you like, and you just bring up a player of his or bring up like a hot button point and be like, hey, what do you think about blah, blah, blah? Like, he will have an opinion, and it's kind of cool that that's how that works. And normally they'll want to share it with you. They'll be like, oh yeah, totally, oh. Good icebreaker. But legit, yeah, that Cardinals comment like opened up the door for like a lot of conversations in the future, just because it kind of put him at ease. Oh man, I tried to scoop underneath that, but he was patient. All right, I'm playing like an absolute bot. Oh, but speaking of, close one. I'm not gonna give a close one. I was pretty close to shit talking there. I'm getting kind of fed up here. I need to lock in a lot harder and carry these games, but I feel like I'm playing horribly. So I guess I am not being mechanical. Do you have a favorite soccer team? Not really. Growing up, I was a Manchester United fan. I can't really say I'm a hardcore fan anymore because I'm not really. I just haven't watched international soccer in so long. Love Bruno Fernandes. Huge fan of that dude. But yeah, outside of that, I haven't really followed international soccer. I've been watching some domestic soccer. I'm trying to be like the regional guy. You know, I'm rooting for FC Dallas and MLS because, yay, domestic leagues. But yeah, they're pretty decent. They're also pretty close to my house, so I wanna. When I start really racking in money, I'd actually be totally down to get season tickets. We got season tickets, me and one of my exes, to a game, and she had a colleague of hers at her job that had season tickets and he couldn't go, so he was like, hey, do you want them, and you can take like your boyfriend. And we were like, okay. And we got there and we had like great freaking seats, like right in the middle of the field, right behind the benches. That was pretty lit. We did get robbed in that game, and it was against Houston, which sucks. It's an interstate rivalry, but either way. Captain got like the most ridiculously blatant trip in the box I've ever seen in my life, and the ref said play on. I remember standing up and freaking out. Guy next to me goes like, oh, I know, seriously. We started like ranting back and forth. And I'm like, man, I do miss being completely brain dead, angry fan in the stands, commiserating with fans. Also, I've lived in Dallas for 3 years, never been to a Mavs game. Granted, Mavs games are like infinitely more expensive than like every other sporting event, but still. I would have been way more compelled to go if Luka was still here, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, he just kept going. Oh, that works. Nice. Yeah, well, just launch that. Nice. I was there just in case he hit it wide. I was like, as long as you don't hit it directly near post wide, I can score this for us. That's what I mean by playing through a read and just going. A lot of players will like slow down on the wall, like I was, you know, in that position. And the awkward thing is like they'll slow down, and because they slow down, they lose any ability to beat the challenge, and then they lose a 50. And then not only are they low on boost, but they're also low on momentum, so they can't recover. They just like, I don't know, man. Sometimes you just gotta go. Nice. Okay, I tried to leverage that one a little bit more. Should be able to get that. Nice. Teammate, you can go. Perfect. Bump. Ooh. Bump, 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 bump. But bro does not like a bump. We're gonna let that one drift. Okay. I wasn't sure if he was going for a bump. I was actually trying to fake that on the outside so he'd fall outside, and then I could attack that from the inside, but didn't quite work out. You're gonna let me double that? Okay, good clear. Teammate, all yours, all yours, all yours, all yours, all yours. Okay, that's fine. He doesn't want to get beat over the top of second guy, I get that. I might get beat here, though. Bump? Nah, he went low. Don't worry, teammate, I'll cut. We're just gonna lob that sideline so I can stay close to it. Bump. Okay, stole their boost. Oh, what the? I didn't expect that guy to recover and then beat me over the top there. Okay. I saw him kind of in the no man's land. I wanted to see if I could get away with stealing that away. Good shot. I should have a wide open shot here, as long as you don't touch it. Almost made it work. I should have anticipated that. Hello, Lil K on top. Nice flick, almost. Ah, I tried to fake that. That's not in, don't worry. Pinch. Perfect. Wait. All right, Zizzy. Nice touch. Excellent touch. Bump him. Perfect touch. Nice pass. Let's go. How to stay composed when your teammate has one brain cell? Have more than one and then play off of them is usually the best way to do that. If your teammate is just diving at everything, honestly, the worst type of teammate is not the one that dives everything. The teammate that's the most frustrating, at least in my opinion, is the teammate who plays too passive. Like they're scared to go for stuff. That, in my opinion, is the harder to play around teammate because you don't, it's hard to play off someone when you don't know if they're even reading it or capable of going. I think the newest update with like the teammate boost meter was definitely helpful in like mitigating that, but there's still the occasional moment where it is genuinely like, buddy, I need you to like tell me, help me out a little bit here on like some of these plays. Spongebob car, yep, Black Pangolin, you bet. The Burger Mobile. Pickle wheels too. I like how Plankton is squished on the front one. It's a fun little touch. How's the day going? Day's going all right. We started stream a little early, so admittedly my gameplay feels a little off. I feel like I'm so conditioned at playing it like in the evening that when I start even like an hour and a half too early, I feel it's like very janky. Like right now, a lot of my hits are a little off. My decision making is like not quite razor sharp. Man, and that all started because I missed a wide open shot. All right, my bad. I can't be losing to Bondman, chat. This guy, I was critiquing him pretty heavily the other stream. Is the hotbox good on the Spongebob car? It's the Octane. Honestly, it plays like an Octane. That's kind of why I like it. A lot of cars like look like a hitbox in like the sense of like, yeah, sure work, but when you play it, it's just like, I don't know, this doesn't feel right. Or like when you drive around with it, like a lot of cars suffer from being a Dominus hitbox, but then you play it, oh my god, teammate. Okay, that's fine. Just kidding. You used all your boost, and then you were drifting at 0 boost. You might actually be brain dead. At least when I pre-jumped, I had 100 boost. What are you doing here? You're pre-jumping with... Oh, you used all of it. Okay, well... unfortunate. So, chat, when you pre-jump, you don't do that with 20 boost. That's just hot tip, by the way. Nah, good save. How do you not get tilted at this? I mean, I do. You gotta just accept that some things are out of your control. That's not the touch you're looking for, but that's okay. We've all been there. Oh, thank God. Okay. I didn't mean to pop it that high, but I did mean to pop it and then get like a bump play because I knew the guy was near post. I just didn't know where. I also don't want to do the classic thing of like, oh, the goal's open, I shoot it, and then it's like a very easy save because I shot it right down the middle of where that guy was. Okay. No, it's not even the exhaust. The exhaust is like the box they built in the back of it. Hello? That was 2 players both beaten over the top, and we didn't get a follow-up. That's kind of crazy. You can finish that? Nice. Okay, he's bringing it together, chat. Never mind. We're good. He made up for it well. Also, on Bondman's perspective, I think the moment that guy boosts full speed after hitting the ball in the corner, you gotta just hit the brake and hope he doesn't demo you. Like, you gotta brake check him. There's literally no universe in which you survive that play. My teammate might become the GOAT soon. He's kind of locking in. I want to hit that a little bit lighter so I can go for a double or something, but... That's fine. Unless teammate is not ready. That's fine. He doesn't have it. Teammate, cut the angle, cut the angle. Nice. Okay. Just gonna lob that one, give us a little bit of time. Wasn't the best clear, probably should have kept it a bit more sideline. Luckily, if you jump right now, it's fine. Okay, we're good. Oh. Yeah, you would go for that. Okay. The only time that one guy in the burger car has gone for an air dribble, it has been an air dribble bump. Like, I don't think he's actually gone for a like legitimate aerial following the ball outside of that. I'm gonna leave that. Buddy, if you didn't slow down. I casually missed that boost, by the way. Dunk. Ooh, wow, he positioned really poorly for that. Watch the new Avatar movie, hope it's good. Fire and Ash, or whatever it's called. Why'd you criticize Bondman? Oh no, I just feel like when I've played him in the past, he's just been very like off. But then again, I can't really complain that much because that's like every teammate at this rank. They all have like 1 or 2 things that I'm just really not a fan of. Let's go Paddy Wagon. Yeah. Did you watch the FIFA World Cup? I did not watch a single minute of that competition, I'm not gonna lie. Every Saudi tournament is very soulless to me. I'm just not really a fan of any of the products. I think it's cool in concept, but I'm just like, I don't know, man. I'm glad we're starting to get more involvement with that, but I would rather have esports at like an Olympic level that is like run by an esports TO rather than some FIFA E tournament. Also, a World Cup held every single year feels kind of stupid, and I understand in like the lengths of esports careers, maybe it's not smart, but at least do it every other year, you know? Like, make it even years. Just feels very weird to have a World Cup every year for FIFA E. Finish meal prep and some super bomb breakfast burritos. I do like breakfast burrito. Magnifique. Oh, cool car. Also, I just realized why all the South American players have been talking to me a bit more in chat. I have Taco de Peligro as my username, and they're probably like, first of all, it's not how you do it. Because I've told multiple people have told me it should actually not be taco de peligro, but I'm like, I don't know. I think it's the I like the generic bad Spanish translation of it. I like my breakfast burritos with chorizo. Chorizo's good. Chorizo's a good addition for sure. I miss the old days. Man, I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm just not warmed up yet or what, but like I do feel like my touches in this car just feel a little off. I don't know if it's like the blunted front nose where it's like I'm not used to like this hitbox being so tall in the way that it is, but I don't know, it just feels a little strange. Also, I understand from like a car perspective you can't see anyone in the driver's seat, but I don't know why the burger even has like a hood on it. Like I'd rather just it be a burger and make the hitbox shorter. Meal prep or cook it each night? I used to be a meal prep guy. Problem is a lot of the stuff I like to cook doesn't really reheat well, like at all. So I don't like meal cook prepping because of that. Nice. I think the best stuff to meal prep that does reheat well is rice and like a stew, like a slow cooker stew or something. That stuff can go hard for days after. Like that always tastes good. Some like potatoes and carrots and whatnot in a slow cooker. A couple hours. Hell yeah. Holy lag. Ooh. Hey, J Bogo. Oh. I over pursued it. I'm such a bot. Oh, this guy's chasing. Okay, well, my bad. How's the car feeling? It's fun. I can't tell if it's off because the car box or if I'm just playing a little weird, but I do notice a couple of my touches are very like not locked in right now. I think it's because I believe it's an Octane hitbox, but the hitbox feels a little taller, so I feel like I can't see my nose as well when I go for certain aerials. That's my only critique of the car. I will wish that they kind of took off the top part and just made it like a burger, because then everything would be the same height, you see? I'm a bot. I should have chowed that a lot more on the outside. Nice. 20 imaginary buckaroos. I'm trying. I didn't scoop that properly. Nice. So yeah, a lot of the, like, a meal I could eat every single day, and I do eat a lot, is I eat a red lentil or chickpea pasta, or like 2 servings of that, which is like, you know, a good amount of protein, very filling. Get some skinless chicken breast, usually like 180 to 200 grams of that. And then Bertolli makes an Alfredo sauce, a basil Alfredo, that is like mind-blowingly good for a store-bought Alfredo. Love that shit. So I get a little bit of that, put in like, I don't know, 60 to 80 grams of Alfredo, add a little black pepper on it, and from there it's pretty much, we're chilling. Just mix that all up. And the problem is that when you reheat pasta, you kind of need to add sauce that's fresh. So in order to reheat it, you'd have to like basically reheat the pasta separately, then the sauce, and then add it in later. But the thing is, like, that kind of defeats the whole purpose of the meal prep. And then beyond that, pasta, when you're like reheating just pasta, it sticks to each other. It gets kind of gross and weird from the fridge. So it's just never really been something I've really liked doing. The only time I meal prep like that is when I've made like brown rice and like chicken and broccoli or something. Something like that can be reheated very easily. You just add some water in when you microwave or whatever, and then it'll come out real nice. Also, I'm a convert. I got an air fryer because I just thought it'd be cool every once in a while to make stuff. Air frying chicken is infinitely better than putting in the oven. I used to be an oven cooker for chicken, and it is just so much better to air fry it. Because even though it's skinless chicken, when you air fry chicken, you get that kind of, if you season it appropriately, you'll actually get a little bit of the crispy texture that you get from chicken with skin. It's actually kind of mind-blowing. I'm just stage of doing my own meal prepping, switching my master. My school cafeteria food is gone, so it's nice seeing what other people do. I would say the infinitely cheap and very easy to meal prep thing would be brown rice, broccoli, and chicken. That's the poor man's meal that will last you an insane amount. Because the thing is, people have to understand about budgets, especially when you get older, is like, yeah, order Uber Eats, yeah, get some fun stuff, whatever, get it delivered. Because some people justify Uber Eats as like, well, it's not that much more expensive. But like when you really break down how much money you can spend on Uber Eats compared to like anything else, it's not like, I used to be like, yeah, it's like twice as expensive. No, it's like 5 times as expensive, like legit. Like I did the math the other day, that chickpea pasta or red lentil pasta, that Alfredo, and that chicken, 3 ingredients that I use to make the meal I eat almost every single day. That meal by itself, I would say per day cost breaks down to about like, I think like $7 or something. Like just about, and I could go cheaper if I really wanted to, if I cut the portions differently or I bought different stuff. But ultimately, that's how it kind of breaks down. And then I get people who are like, well, think about the last thing you Uber Eats. I'm assuming it's probably $20 with service fees, probably up to 25, 26. With this tip, probably another $7, $8, $10 or whatever. If you get priority, so it gets delivered right to you, that's probably another $3.99. Usually, an Uber Eats order, I would say, tallies between $20 or $35 and $40. And because of that, if you use our cost of like, all right, well, all that money you spend on groceries lasts you, you know, for $40 at the grocery store, you can buy a bunch of chicken, a bunch of pasta, a bunch of sauce, or a bunch of rice, or a bunch of broccoli, blah, blah, blah. And it would cost you about the same amount, and it would last you literally like 2 weeks. Like, it's actually insane. And people are like, well, duh, it's gonna be more expensive. That's crazy, you almost got a pre-jump. Ugh. But it's really insane. I got my Uber Eats down to about $8 to $10 a meal. What are you talking about? You're not spending $8 on an Uber Eats order. The tip alone is like $8. I'm confused what you mean by that. As in like you Uber Eats 3 things from Taco Bell and each one individually is a meal? That way I could see it, but there's absolutely no way you're spending $8 to $10 for a full order. My rule is I Uber Eats once a week. It's a fun little treat that I don't mind budgeting for. I still don't understand the people. I have Bass coming at me and saying, I still need to hear his argument, where he says, like, honestly, the prices in Las Vegas are getting kind of bad to the point where it's cheaper to order out or go pick something up. And I'm like, I don't believe that. Like, I don't know where you're buying your chicken, buddy, but like $12 gets you like 4 pounds of chicken. Like, I know for 2 people that might not be a lot, but like, I don't know, man. 4 pounds of chicken for at least one person is at least like a couple days of food. Maybe not all your meals, but like it's a couple different meals. Whereas like $12 at any fast food place is a single meal. Better Restaurants got 3 Chipotle meals from Uber Eats for $25 the other day. Wait, 3 Chipotle, what? You ordered 3 things from Chipotle for $25? Is that like a special they had? I don't think I've ever seen Chipotle do a special. I also never do Uber Eats for Chipotle because I live near a Chipotle. So I just walk down there if I ever want it. I could get all in at $20 for a single meal on Uber Eats. Well, the thing is, it's $20 plus the tip and the processing. That's where I feel like people start losing track. Because they're like, oh, this meal, like one of my favorite restaurants to eat from fast food wise is Hawaiian Bros. And they have a perma deal on Uber Eats at any hour of the day on any day where it's buy one, get one free. And you can get anything you want on a plate. So like you can extra meat, extra whatever, blah, blah, blah. And they'll always give you the second one for free. It'll be the exact same order. And I was like, oh, that's kind of a cool deal. Because technically I'm paying half price if you think about it. I'm just getting 2 meals out of it. And that's like the lazy way to do math. But ultimately with the processing, it's still like $35. Like it's like $17 for that plate. And then like the $3.99 for priority, which you don't need, but I just like having because when I don't do it, I wait another 30 minutes for my meal. another like $6 for processing, and then like the tip is probably like, it's based off of the 2 meals, so it's like 10 extra bucks. That's like another half of a meal. So it kind of just adds up. So when people are like, yeah, I ordered 3 meals for 25 bucks, I'm like, you guys must have an insane deal for your area, because I've never seen something like that for 3 meals. They had a BOGO deal? Okay, well then that's a little bit better. But yeah, for me, it's just like, it kind of just blows my mind how much money I used to, especially when I was in depressive state, when I was in a depressive episode, I would Uber Eats a lot more, because just doing anything was so hard. So Uber Eats was just kind of like an easy way to get fed and still be able to continue with my day. And I noticed later on, like, anyone who's really had to budget tightly knows, like, eventually you can predict how much money you have in your bank account at any given time. You're like, I probably have about blah, blah, blah. I probably have blah, blah, blah. I probably have this much. And then when you Uber Eats too much, like I did, I was like, yeah, I have like, I think it was like $2,000 or whatever. $2,000 in my bank account. And then I check, and then after all that, it's like, you have 1,800 flat. And I'm like, wait, what? And then you start looking it up and you realize, oh, you ordered Uber Eats 4 or 5 times last month. Okay, well, that's $200. I'm like, Christ, not realize it was that bad. Throws your whole budget out of whack if you're not careful. Yeah, I became very militant about protecting my sanity from overdoing that. I'm in Europe and tipping is nonsense. Well, tipping was created in the Great Depression in the United States to basically have restaurant owners allow their workers to still get money while they weren't able to pay them. But the thing is that once we kind of elevated things in the US over the course of like 8-10 years, and we got out of the Great Depression, we actually had a bit more of economic growth and prosperity. Restaurant owners realized, wait, this is actually a great system in that I'm allowed to underpay people even, and other people get to pay them. Sick. Now the problem is it's so in the zeitgeist of cultural service in the food industry that now the idea of someone not tipping is seen kind of as a dickish way, because it's like that weird push and pull of like, tipping shouldn't be a thing because people should just get paid good wages. But then the other side is that people who work for tips, depending on your situation and job and location, you can actually make a lot of money on tips, more than you would like salary wise. So some people are like, I don't want you to take away my tips, but I'm like, I don't know, man. I just feel like tipping from a consumer side is very predatory, because ultimately those tips, honestly, if the tip went directly to the person serving me, I'd be down for it. But a lot of places split their tips, which feel very disingenuous. Like if I'm serving a table and then it's it's like 7, 8, 9, 10 people at a table, and they tip me $200, it feels a little disingenuous to split my tip with the people who are taking much smaller tables who didn't have to hustle the way I just did for, you know, the past hour and a half. So, I don't know. I'm of the mindset tipping shouldn't exist. People should just get paid better. So I agree that with Europeans, it's not a good thing. I will say, though, if you are European and you go to the US, you should tip. I think I've seen a lot of people be like, well, I think tipping is stupid, so I'm not going to do it. I'm like, yeah, but that doesn't change the fact that you're in the US. It'd be like any other country respecting culture. And I know tipping shouldn't be seen as culture necessarily, but it's fundamentally a part of it, whether you realize it or not. So I feel like it's just like I feel like it should be something Europeans should do that. Convenience, like food delivery. My limit on tipping is like, did you do anything beyond the regular service of your job serving me this food? Like when I'm tipping a waiter or waitress, they are delivering food to my plate by hand and also checking in on me and making sure they're getting anything I want. That's like a service that's a bit and beyond. If I go to a store and pick up an order and they're asking me for a tip, I do not tip on that, because I'm like, this is the same as someone walking into a store, just be like, hey, I'd like that product. Okay, here, check it out. Because in that sense, are you doing anything beyond what you would do as like a convenience store worker or something? Like, hey, I'm gonna take this product, this product, this product. All right, cool, here's your order. All right, cool, here's your receipt, bye. Like, no. And we don't tip, the only industry we tip in the US is food. Like, we don't tip Best Buy workers when you pick up your monitor, you know? Tipping should be optional. I mean, technically it is optional. It's just culturally frowned upon. It's something that's not illegal, but it will make people... It's like returning your shopping cart. It's not something that's illegal, but it's like something that they're like, we probably should do that, just based on kind of the cultural inertia of it. Oh, whoops. Finger slipped. I was trying to read chat. So yeah, in my mind, I just feel like if I pick up an order, I do not tip. But if I am sitting down at a restaurant, I will tip. If they I have like tipping. I do tip fundamentally if I am ever working at a place that is entirely like high school and young college kids, because I understand what it's like to be super broke, and I feel like it'd be kind of cool if, you know, I could just brighten their day with like a nice tip. I actually do tip a lot for haircuts. When I get a banger haircut, I like to show that forward, because I feel like that stuff is always kind of nice. Especially since I don't know how they do the splits in front and back of the house or whatever. Yeah, food delivery is nice because those people are chronically underpaid like crazy, so it's always kind of nice to be able to give a tip to someone who, especially went out in the freezing cold or rain or whatever and got me food that I didn't feel like going for myself. I make sure to tip like a motherfucker when it comes to food delivery when it's groceries. That's a lot more effort, in my opinion, than doing an Uber. Because Uber, you just drive up and you're basically just picking up an order. Like that's just the transportation aspect. But like an Instacart person sifting through all those aisles and fighting through crowds to get all my, you know, stupid grocery list stuff, that's a lot of effort. Here you have base wage and then tips on top of that. Yeah, the thing is, most restaurants, it is the only employees you are allowed to pay less than the minimum wage in the US are people who operate under tips. Like a lot of servers make like underneath what our technical minimum wage is, because it's technically legal to say, well, they make it up in tips. And it's like, well, that's kind of shady. I'm like, I would argue you should just get paid your full wage and then also get tips. What's the hell in this car? It's the paddy wagon, bro. Get with the times. Shame. I made more off tips than a 15-hour they paid. Significant. There would be days where 4 hours in the day with $200 tips. No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I understand a lot of people are like, I just believe in principle. We should have a base salary, no tips, because I think that would just be a lot more stable. Because at the end of the day, it's kind of like commission in the same way. Like, commission isn't exactly like tips, but it's not like tips. Oh my God. He peaked. That's actually insane that you fell on that afterwards. Whoa, no, I didn't scoop it! That would have been a banger clip for the burger. But yeah, commission's brutal. My sister used to work at Neiman Marcus, which I think is out of business now, but it's like a high-end fashion boutique. And she used to be a salesperson there, and she works in San Francisco. She'd have like the Golden State Warriors wives come into the store with like their husband's credit card and be dropping like $30,000, and her at 15% commission obviously is like banger. That's like $4,500 that she's getting basically in commission off that. So she'd be pulling in crazy stacks. But the problem is that commission is also taken away if you get refunds. And a lot of these rich people will come in, buy, in quotes, $30,000 worth of stuff, and then be like, I didn't like it, and then return like 80% of it. So my sister used to get upset because you never know what you were making until the end of the month, basically, where your checks actually get cut. So you'd have like, okay, I made $80,000 in sales, but that doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to come away with $12,000 in commission. I'm going to come away with maybe that. I might come away. She's like, I had a month where I pulled in $24,000 in commission. It was 100% a commission job. And the next month she pulled in $1,500 because people just were returning everything. Or they were like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about this one. And they kept going back and forth. It's for the fake facade of influence. No. Have you watched USA France highlight from the event? No. I've heard it was a crazy good event series, so I might watch back. Lord help us if Vatira and Zen ever get put on the same org. I've also worked as car salesman, commission only. Most just job of my life would have preferred to set salary and commission, make it less, but make sure I can live, please. That's really all it is. Like I think an incentive structure of having commission plus base is pretty good, and you can balance that out, like giving yourself like that my job is currently that. Like I get a base salary and then commission on top of that, which is I think a good thing to make sure it's a little bit more stable. Okay. Yeah, I realized he was going for that. Oh, I didn't see him in my peripheral. I was like, oh, he's not challenging. Oof. Oof, dude, you got dropped as a child. What did you think was going to happen there? Buddy, you really thought this guy wouldn't dunk the crap out of you? He's coming from the middle of the field. You're trying to hit it through him to the middle of the field, and you're on the outside of the ball? There's only one way that was going to end. No problem. Ow, man. Well, so this burger cart just feel a little off on some of my pre-flips and my air dribbles. I'm noticing a lot of them just are not what I expected to be. I think my brain is still like adjusting to like what the octane looks like, and so therefore my brain is like, okay, I have to trigger it like this. My muscle memory hasn't kicked in on some of these reads. That doesn't quite work. That's fine. You would spawn right there. Oh, I meant to demo him and I didn't get it. It's sad. That should be a goal. Nice. Hold on. Okay, cool. We can't want to see that too. Did you jump up? I didn't see it. I can confidently say playing against you, I genuinely hate your challenges. You're really good at showing things. Oh, I thought you meant like playing with me. I was like, I hate my challenges. I'm like, oh, yike. I mean, I don't even think I'm that good at challenges, but I'm just trying to play like a pathway game where I'm like, all right, well, you're trying to go here. Let's just take away options. But it always bothers me when players are trying to like, I think players are thinking too like one direction with it, in that they're like, oh, I want to go here, so what's the best way to go here? It's this. But the thing is, like, they're not anticipating the next step of, like, people are anticipating you to do that. Like, if a player is driving directly at a ball, the reason fakes work is because they know you're trying to shoot it directly down the middle. And it's the same thing with defense. Like, if a guy's telegraphing that he's trying to get around the ball, naturally I'm going to angle myself to take away that option. And it's so funny to watch teammates, like, just put together the most obvious wind-up and then get dunked, and then they're like, oh man, my bad, there was literally nothing I could do to prevent that. And it's like, you could have just not thrown it the most obvious direction. I don't know. That's my take. Reset, pinch? Oh my god. Okay, he couldn't get that again if he tried. What a peek. Oh my god, he caught that so well. Yike! Just trying to play it to the side. Wasn't really a pass, but I appreciate Meerkat trying to extend it. Sorry, buddy. I thought that was a pass until that last flick. Detroit Become Human goes on sale. That was like I feel like Detroit Become Human is classified in the same bin of games that I never played, but was like, I probably would like it if I gave it a shot, as like the game Watch Dogs. I remember seeing that when it first came out. And I'm like, this looks kind of interesting, and I never gave it a shot. Like, I never downloaded those games. It's been a while since I played through Witcher. Witcher 3, a complete edition, Blood and Wine or whatever, got like an 85% discount the other day, and I bought it. And I'm like, I gotta go play that again. So I remember playing a decent amount of that game and liking it, and I just never ended up finishing it, I don't think. I need to stop jumping into those chows. Who made Detroit Become Human again? I always forget the developer of that. My brain said Ubisoft, but I'm like, that's not true. That's not true. Also, Fallout 3 was like, not Fallout 3. Fallout New Vegas was like $1 the other day on loaded.com, and I was like, whoa! Like, it's been a fat minute since I played New Vegas. Quantic Dream. Quantic Dream's funny. I remember they made Detroit Become Human, and then they made some other random-ass game. I want to say at the Game Awards, Quantic Dream, I think, announced a game, and it was like a freaking like FPS, and they're like, wait, the guys who made Detroit Become Human made this? Like, people were just super confused, like, why did you make this? I think every developer secretly just wants a live service game. That's the wet dream. If you can create the next Valorant, you're set for life. Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls. All new Ubisoft games are copy-paste the new map. I don't know. Occasionally you'll get something inspired. Like, I'm not really into Assassin's Creed personally, but from my friends talking, they're like, a lot of Assassin's Creed games are mid as hell, but they're like, Black Flag was very interesting and very different and very cool. I'm like, what happened after that? They're like, oh, I'm back to bad again. I was like, oh. Like, there's so much potential in that world to create something really intriguing. Like, I thought the Assassin's Creed Odyssey looked pretty cool, but then, of course, it's Ubisoft, so I read the reviews, and everyone's like, this isn't bad, but it's also not good. And it's like, that defines a lot of games. Like, you play it, and you're like, you're not going to be miserable playing this, but you're just going to feel like, man, this could have been something really cool, like that type of thing. You know, it's like missed potential. Like, the setting of ancient Greek philosophy or just ancient Rome or anything for a game like that is so rich for like mythological implications, for a bunch of like cool like tech and aesthetic, and they just like don't tap into it as much as maybe you'd want them to. For me, Assassin's Creed, I got into it too late because I don't have the nostalgia factor. I tried to play Assassin's Creed 1 after like years of playing it, not playing it, and I thought the combat was so dry and lifeless that I had no interest in continuing. But then again, I'm an action RPG Souls guy, so of course I'm gonna be all, pretentious about it. Interesting. I'm sorry, CDR. We deserve to be down by like 3 goals at this point, but that's okay. Click. Nice. I love Origins, Egyptian one. Origins, I don't remember that one. Wait, what the heck is that decal? That goes crazy over there. Test to, which is the one where you kill the Pope? Isn't that Assassin's Creed game? Okay, it is Brotherhood where you kill the Pope? Okay. I remember it because some guy online was complaining that like these games are like very respectful of religion, and someone's like, "What do you mean respectful? You kill the Pope in one of these games?" And I'm like, I think that's really funny. I'm like, yeah, it's one thing to like argue left and right, like, oh, you know how this game treats this subject, but it's like, buddy, you literally claim the Pope is like some corrupt guy and you murder the shit out of him. Like, let's not act like this game is like not touching base on these things in a controversial way. Man, some games get a little too aggro. I still remember the No Russians mission in Modern Warfare 2 is one of the most like depraved things I remember seeing as a kid. I'm like, I don't know if I needed to see that. That would have been just as effective if you showed me only like a small footage of that, instead of actively getting me to cosplay being a terrorist. Man, teammate, I would have loved that if you didn't flip right by the ball and then not chow that and then go to the corner first. That was really confusing. Oh no. Hey, Reese. You killed the Pope's son? Oh. I don't know why, but playing in 1600 and having people actively try to Spanish just feels sweaty in a bad way. Like, I don't know what, like, we're not even at a good rank yet, buddy, and you're actually tryharding that much? Like, I don't know. I'm not one to be like, you're trying in ranked, but it's so funny to watch, like, people actually do that stuff. Like, if we were in 2K, I get it. There's only so many ways you can score, and a restart is like a set piece, but I don't know. I just find that just super goofy. How'd the Pope have a son? Well, he's not a good Pope. AC2 is different than Assassin's Creed Brotherhood? Oh. Is it one of those things where it's like Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood? You know? Did they ever try to make an MMORPG? I feel like that's inevitable for worlds that have like a branching lore or whatever. They try to inevitably make it into like a MMO sim. That was a good teammate. I played with him the other day. Right. I trust he wouldn't shoot that. Teammate, we got a breakaway. It's going down the line, and they're not chasing the ball, and you decide to slow it down? I don't know about that, buddy. What? You pre-jump that? That's kind of crazy. Now, like, it's one thing to get in the way, but he like perfectly angled that. Holy crap! Look at this man go. That might actually bounce horribly. Never mind. Let's just cut that with a 50. Cut that again. Sad. Gonna keep that one close. Cut around him. Yeah, unfortunately, he knew I had more boost. Not that deep. AC, AC2, AC Brotherhood, AC Revelations, AC3. And then I think they started doing spin-offs. I want to say that was about the time where you got like AC Origins. Is that a real thing? Yeah, Origins is the Egyptian one. That's where like all started, right? Like it's back in ancient Egyptian times. And then they did like AC Black Flag, AC... What was the Revolutionary War one? That was AC... Oh, there's so many. There's the Egyptian one, there's the Revolutionary War, or Civil War, or whatever. Then the Greek one. There's Black Flag somewhere in there. AC4 Black Flag, A4 Syndicate. I don't remember Syndicate. Unity, I think, is the American one. And then Origins. Isn't there AC Valhalla? Or did I make that up? American one is 3. Oh. I thought it had like its own title. Oh. Not gonna lie, couldn't see him, so didn't think he would chow. I'm doing alright, Suscap. Just trying to play in the burger car. that was a very easy save, and I didn't make it, so. I'm sad about that. You don't have to be sad about it. I think honestly, I'm sad that people have these cool worlds, and Ubisoft is Ubisoft, so you get these games that are all broken and janky. I think it was Unity that was really a mess. Like, people were like loading in the game, and there'd be like cinematics with like no faces on the characters, just be like floating eyes and a hat. People would just be like, what the heck is this? Like, this is a AAA studio? At least try to save it. I don't need your pity. I get it, buddy. You want to kiss me. Holy. New show when it first came out, it's good. It's the best parkour system. Can I experience the fullest because Black Man multiplayer? Ooh, boo. Bald. On fourth. Is rank GC2? It is. This rank is fundamentally not possible to solo queue out of, in my experience, at the beginning of the season. Granted, I'm not playing that well, but half these losses are not even like skill difference in terms of like, wow, these guys are just simply better. Half of it is just like, oh, I didn't expect that to be a mistake. Oh, I didn't expect that to happen. Oh, I didn't expect there to be there. This game, I'm definitely failing. I missed that pretty easy save earlier, but it's always kind of sad to see. I'm also a fan. I'm a hard reset truther. I personally think we are overdue for getting all these boosted accounts out of the rank. Like, there's an epidemic of players who are very clearly have never played in a Grand Champ level before, and they're chilling at my MMR, and I'm like, nah, I'm good, buddy. Like, come back when you can aerial, you know? Oh, he went underneath me, Bold. That was a little aggressive by me. I wasn't sure about the placement on that. I was like, I don't know if I should hit it high on the near post or actually go for the shot. I think that's crossbar. Yep. Oh, wow. That's a placement. Okay, well, that works. Also, I feel like I cannot speed flip in this car. I don't know why, but my brain is like not registering these flips. All right. How the game's been? Hi, turret. It's all right. I started streaming up very early, so we're getting into the area of the night where I'm actually usually warmed up and playing, so hopefully the games pick up a little bit. Right now, I feel like I've been playing kind of like 30% of where we should be. Okay, thank you. I was about to say, I'm like, I do not know where that's going to bounce. Want to see how it goes? I mean, maybe. I don't know. Part of this is just I have to actually muscle my way up. It's like a pride thing. So I'm just playing super janky. I kind of want to switch the octanes for a bit and just see, like, is it the car? Because the hitbox does feel, the visual hitbox does feel like not bad in this car, but it does feel a little bit different from what I expect it to be. I'm such a bot, dude. Wasn't sure if teammate wanted to chow that or not. Hitbox is the Merc. That would make a lot more sense. I thought it was Octane, but yeah, it would make more sense the Merc. But even still, it feels... I feel like part of the issue with the Merc that it's hard for me to know, like, the top of the hitbox in the front is really tall. It's kind of the issue I have with the Scarab, in that, like, the front of the hitbox is so tall that I don't know when exactly it's hitting my hood, the front of my car, my front bumper. Because all I can see is, like, the ball passing in front of this giant orb in front, and I'm like, wait, is my bumper actually hitting it? Whereas in the Octane, I know exactly where my front of the car is. Not front of my car, like the front bumper. And I'm like, oh, I know I'm about to touch it. I'm not leaning into it. I can physically see my bumper when I lean back, you know? Oh, load a shotgun, put it in my mouth. Holy fuck. Why is every goal so hilarious? Why are we getting beat by the earliest of lobs? That's a crazy high lob, by the way. I can't bump him because he's too short. All right, let's go to the Octane for a little bit and see how it feels. Because yeah, that's my only issue with this car is that the front, this orb at the top is so completely unnecessary to the hitbox's car that I feel like when I'm trying to drive, there's certain chows that I'm like genuinely like, where is, like I'll get a touch and it's like, I think any hitbox that triggers that like in between friction is a little bit weird because like for me, the biggest reason I hate like the Cybertruck and the Scarab is that there's so many times when you're going for an aerial and it's all muscle memory and you know how you're adjusting, you know how to do it, and your first touch is a little off and your brain is like, huh? Like you get hit with this mix of surprise and confusion because you're like, why did it touch like that? And it's because your brain is programmed to approach things in a certain way, and based how your car looks, you're not subconsciously like, or you're not consciously looking at your car, you're looking at the ball, but you can see how your car is positioned and you know how it's moving based on, you know, thousands and thousands and maybe millions of repetitions of air rolling. But when the car hitbox doesn't match what your brain knows the hitbox to be, I think you take a touch and it doesn't click and then suddenly everything goes out the window. And I feel like I keep getting that with certain DLC cars. That Spongebob one isn't that bad, but I want to see if I'm getting hit with a similar thing. Because that is by far the one thing I feel like developers of cars need to figure out. Is when they're designing them, they need to make it in a way that actually makes sense for the visual hitbox and doesn't create that friction. Ah, 73 months at tier 2. Our longest sub, I believe. It's gotta be, I'd have to think. That's a really good 50, by the way. Oh, buddy, you had it! Just pinched off the near post! What? What just happened here? Oh, we missed the demo. Oh, never mind. Okay. The other team can always make incredible defense, or defenders can't be. That's all availability bias. I will say, though, that there's a lot of boosted players in GC2, so that's my biggest issue. Like, there's just a lot of players who at least, I'm not going to say it's a lot, like a majority. I'm not going to cope and be like, every time I lose, it's because it's like, but there's a lot of players. I would say 1 in like 7 games, I would say. There's a teammate who I'm noticing is not fast aerialing. They're also not capable of like shadowing. And I'm like, this is like a very basic aspect of GC2 play. So I'm kind of confused how you're very much struggling to keep up with the basics. Like if you're getting beat over the top on an air dribble or whatever, everyone gets beat on a solo play in 2s. That's like, that's not unusual. But when you're like not even capable of jumping quickly for a ball and you're doing flat jumps on your first 2 jumps, it's kind of like, that's not how that works. Oh. Bump him? No, but that's just availability bias. within your brain. When you're like, oh my god, it feels like always the defense is better. You're ignoring all those times where your defense actually was pretty great and the other team was kind of in shambles. It's just more frustrating because humans also have a negativity bias, so we're gonna remember the negative stuff a lot more clearly than the positive stuff. Like when you tell people about a good game, you guys often don't tell people about good games you had on Rocket League, but you will tell people about the bad ones. I would go, but teammate was also like lingering there, so I'm like, I don't want to risk going for a ball that he's not gonna commit on. Oh my god, I thought he was actually gonna hesitate and let that in. Ooh. Thought he over dribbled that. That was a good adjustment by him. Why would you? Why? You can physically see me going for it. Even if you think you have a better angle, just let me go. I'm already there. Did you beat Expedition 33? No. I don't know if we're playing it tonight because our mod who wants me to play it the most, Shaq, he is not at home. So I try to play it only when he can watch because he was the one that's pushed for it the most, and I would feel kind of bad if I streamed without him knowing. I'll see you around, Taco. I gotta go. I'll like. Thank you, Suscat. Peace out. Yeah, we got right up to, we got the barrier breaker, and that's it. And we left off there. I think you were there for that. Yeah, that's a game I'm trying... Yeah, that's a game that I'm trying to do 100% on stream. I don't want to play it off stream. Sorry, buddy. I don't know what you're trying to do here. Ooh, he got a little bit more than I thought he would. Teammate's a little over-aggressive for my liking. Night Tago. See you, man. Oh, that was bad shadowing by me, but I was not sure who was actually gonna go for the bump. I also wanted to give myself an angle for, oh, sorry, buddy. I didn't expect you to jump over me. I think you're just gonna keep driving. These guys hate each other. Why are they so toxic? These quick chat bombing from these freaking randoms on the other team is crazy. What a child! It's 2-2! That's psychotic, dude. Dude, what an absolute child. He just owned gold to make that guy lose just because he's been spamming. Just means nothing in binary. I think they're just typing in nonsense, dude. I think people just type stuff sometimes. It's formatted to be binary. I mean, maybe he just mistyped it, even though it's pretty easy to probably just go to binary translator and type whatever you want and then copy paste. Oh my god, I approached that really wrong. That was the wrong angle to demo him. Close one, post. Oh, I just realized what he's trying to do. My bad, buddy. I saw you horrifically get that first touch. I'm like, I can bail you out as long as you're rotating out. And then he went for it again. And I was like, oh, didn't think you'd go for it again. My bad. Also, did not need to be going for that at all. I'm going to preface that. That's explaining why I went for that. I was like, okay, he very clearly can't get another touch on it. I'll just go instead. But you also have to keep in mind a lot of players of this rank they want to try to fix their mistakes and stuff like that. So if there's a chance they could dig their way out of it in any way, they're going to go for it. So do not assume your teammate knows you're going to go for that. And also do not assume that even if you do go for it, what's the percentage likelihood that that turns into a good decision? Something I did not calculate in that moment. It's why you can't not think in twos. You just got to think a little bit. I tried to slow down and then jump. The reason I got demoed is I slowed down because you don't want to speed through that 50 because then you're just going to get plowed in the middle. But you can at least slow down and jump off the wall and then give them at least a little bit less of an angle. Yeah, that makes sense. Trying to cover a lot of territory. I probably don't need to. Oh, I was trying to tap it high up over because I know Aspect had the angle to get the initial one. Good save. Close one. That's a hard angle. They cut it well. Okay, cool. I don't know how I got a demo on that. Hit it to me. Nice. Put it low. Oh my, he almost saved that. Ooh. How's the Octane feeling? A little bit more ordinary. I think it is a visual hitbox thing. Also, if that is a Merc hitbox, that explains also why I felt a little off. I thought it was an Octane, but if people are like, no, it's the Merc, then I'm like, oh, well, that explains a lot. Oh, I have the Daft Punk goal explosion on this one. Yuck. Yuck, 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 yuck. Oh, whoops. I boosted down too much on that. Too monk. I became a monk on that one. Love it. I'm gonna let you keep going. Okay. I'm not gonna lie, thank you. Luckily he'll save that again. I was trying to get a much softer touch. I didn't hit the brake early enough, so it lobbed it, and I was like, oh, I'm a bot. That's really good touch by that guy. No! Why would you think combing from the outside on that would have been beneficial? Again, this is where I talk about like with teammates not really thinking through like what the next step is. Like, even if you know your teammate is a little bit like limited on that one, it's like, unless they're literally at nothing, like that's a pretty routine jump and block for the angle. Like, it would take a miraculous amount of lack of skill from me to not at least get enough on that to, like, you know, keep it out. But teammates like, no, I got it. But the thing is, like, okay, well, you either have to get 100% of the power on that, or you have to get the crazy angle to be able to get it across the goal or above the goal high enough to make it, like, not a threat. And the options are you're probably not going to do that. So it's like, it's better to just let your teammate go for it. And then you play backup. And that's what I mean from, like, all these people who are like, how do I get ranked up? How do I get all this stuff? I'm like, 90% of ranking up is good decision making. And a lot of players just don't really want to take the time to learn like why they're making, why are they getting scored on right there? Why are they, it's easy to be like, well, teammate sucks, they were slow, whatever. And it's like 90% of the time when they think back and they watch like what they just did, they're like, I could probably have done something a little bit better than that. For example, teammate right there, you do not want to ever double jump there to be able to tap that. You lean back so the hood of your car doesn't hit the ball first, the front bumper does. Because your front bumper is going to get up faster than the top of your car if you just jump twice and not lean. So teammate lost that 50 because he's trying to be cutesy and clear the ball down the line and get a cute little touch, when in reality you don't really need to do that. Oh, that was kind of funny. Messed up the reset. That was a pretty guaranteed one. Mechanics will push you a very long way, but the moment is like, you'll realize over time, like you're gonna get hard stuck at a certain point if you don't focus on your decisions. That's the thing that I've noticed the most out of hard stuck players is that they're like, I define it being hard stuck as you don't know what you don't know. So there's a lot of moments where you're kind of just throwing up your hands. You're like, I don't know what possibly I could be doing better. And it's because you can't realize what you're doing wrong, which is why when you have a coach look at it every once in a while, I'm not gonna say they're definitively gonna be right, but it gives you a perspective that you're like, oh, like 90% of the time when I've done a replay review, that's the takeaway I get from people. Oh my. Izak. And so like you get a lot of players who they'll describe, I'll watch a replay with them and then I'll ask them like, what were you trying to do here? Like, what was your intent? And they tell me, and I'm like, okay, why do you want to do that? I'm like, oh, I was doing blah, blah, blah. Or I like to pause it every time they're about to touch it and be like, what are you trying to do here? And if they don't know, I'm like, you should pay attention to that. Like if you don't 100% know what you're trying to do every time you go for a touch, that's a problem. But then beyond that, a lot of players are just like, well, I'm gonna hit here because of blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, well, most players are gonna play this way. What's your solution to that? Like, what do you mean? I'm just gonna plow through it. I'm just gonna go for 50. It's like, well, what about trying this? And then I show them like what else they could have done. And they're like, oh, okay, I guess that kind of makes sense. Like, oh, I should try that. And then what do you know? Like a week and a half after I do a session or two with people, they send me a DM, be like, hey, I'm up like 75 points. Like, thank you, it actually does help. And I'm like, yeah, because you don't know what you don't know. Especially lower rank players. That's why coaching is so impactful at lower ranks, because they don't understand like what, you know, option coverage is and what the idea behind certain approaches are, or what mechanics are actually important, and which ones are kind of like a flash in the pan, fun to look at, but not really like vital to my success. Hell, there's an epidemic of players for some reason that are freaking, that were telling me they don't know how to half flip in C3. And I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, I can like reset sometimes and air dribble, but I just can't half flip. And I'm like, and I realize it's because we've looped around so long that we feel like we've covered all the basics for so long that eventually when someone comes along and they're learning mechanics, they're learning all the hard stuff first. Go, no! That's a horrible setup by me. That's fine. I'm gonna keep that one high so it has time to get out. And then we're gonna shut down their catch. Ooh, he's smart. You know, I was about to dunk him. You tried to rank Heatseeker? I do not like Heatseeker, so no. I remember seeing a VOD, a guy from East Century broke down, you're trying to do too much, you push pace too much. You alone redefine my playstyle. Oh, that's very cool to hear. That's very cool to hear. Thank you, Phantom. But yeah, I mean, that's another thing is people try to play way too fast and they think like, well, that's what I see pros doing. I'm like, yeah, but you have to keep in mind, like that's necessary at their level. A lot of players do that. If I just learn how to play fast, it's one thing. I'm like, well, the thing is like, if your rotation is not as fast as you, then all you're doing is just dusting players and then hitting into open space. And a lot of players get frustrated because they're like, everyone's so slow. Why are you not in the middle? I'm like, well, it's because you're not giving them time to get in the middle. If they're defending over and over and over and over again and getting a bunch of boosts together and then slowly getting up, you hitting in the middle doesn't make sense because you're not up yet, or they're not up yet. Or if you're trying to like constantly do too much, oftentimes it's very boost expensive. And you're basically, it's like, I feel like playing all fast is kind of like going all in on a bet. It's like you're kind of betting super hard that you can influence the outcome and get X to happen, when in reality, you're trying to basically like cover a lot of different options. I was not touching one of it, but it's okay. Just not get bumped here. Hey, turn around. I want to shield him away, and then I'm going to get out. We're going to keep that high. Going to go for demo. Okay, he jumped. It's fine. I can probably demo. No? Good pass. I'm just going up. I'm not trying to get any read. I was just trying to get in the way. I'm going to let him go past me, and I'm going to pop it. That's fine. Noon doesn't need a lot of boost. Nice. Play the read. Nice. I'm going to take that cross. I'm gonna dodge that demo. Ooh, that's a tough one for Noon. That's fine. He just gave it away. Play the flick. Nice. Grab pads. Noon. I got it. I got it. I got it. Nice. Noon go. That's fine. That won't spawn for me. I just realized. Now it will. Cool. You're gonna get a beefy reset off that. Well, I bonked him. Close. Every day I play, I hate threes more. Oh, threes is unbearable unless you're in a full party. I don't know why you're trying to do that. I learned that lesson earlier last season. It's the reason I become kind of a... Honestly, I would say I'm a twos man. It's really funny. I got my 2025 end of year report, and they're like, your favorite game mode was your twos. And I'm like, that's hilarious if you knew anything about my stream even a year ago. Like, such a threes man. It's not even funny, but there's just no more threes games. And the games you do get are people in full comms sweating like RLCSs next week. I'm in gold and hitting redirects. I mean, that's great, but it's just like there's so many players in gold that are just not focusing on like the easy stuff to help you rank up. And they're just like, well, I can hit redirects. I can do all this stuff. And I can do whatever. That was me being a little cocky. That was not a challenge. That was smart. I was just wanted to tap that in the top. I didn't know Aspect had that much boost. I thought he was kind of chilling in gold because he didn't have boost. Oh, that recovery is kind of jank. I'm not going to go over that because Aspect is there. I will tap that slightly behind him. I'm going to play... Oh, never mind. Okay, he had a little bit more boost. Nice chow. I like how he didn't hesitate. A lot of players try to hesitate and be like, whoa, what's he going to do? And then it just lobs past him. All you do is like one little change of pace and then it's over. Jover even. Not going to die for that. I will bump this guy. Nice, frickin' double. I'm not gonna go over that. At least not immediately. Yes, you make it back. Perfect. All right, that's demo, but it's a pretty easy save. Nice, nice. You're 100% correct. The only games I essentially let loose in that way are very high level matches. Like when I get into lobbies that are 2K plus, but it's only because the fast snap all change the pace of the game. No, 100%. Like when you're playing in lower ranks, people are like, you're playing so slow. Like, I thought you were an SSL. I'm like, well, if you guys have ever watched me play in 1800, 1900, like 2K, or even like a 2K lobby, I am playing much faster, but that's because like you have to play that fast because everyone else is playing that fast. But in these ranks where everyone is playing a little slower, it's actually almost to your detriment to play that fast because your teammates are gonna collide with you, they're gonna overlap in rotation. And then on top of that, sometimes you'll just try to pre-jump someone, but they're not even like registering what you're trying to pre-jump. Like I've done that before where I try to pre-jump certain air dribbles and realize halfway through, oh, they're not even registering that that's an opportunity to air dribble. I'm jumping because I know that's one of their options, but they're not even telegraphing that or doing anything. And I realize I kind of have to play a lot slower to prevent that. Hey, it's Phantom. Phantom I have on my friends list. Winthrop University Phantom. Alright, kind of bold. Oh, didn't even realize he was turning into me. There's no way. Thank you. Phantom from Winthrop that made me change my name. Got tired of being confused with that. There's a lot of different people. I do like how your name is Neo Phantom, although it's almost like, well, that's Phantom. This is New Phantom. Nice rain. Only person comment? I mean, Neo is new, so. Alright, my turn. Never mind, dog boost. Oh, wow, that was my brain just turning off. I looked downfield. I've been doing that a lot lately, and I really pissed myself off. Instead of like actually focusing on my takeoff and what angle I need for my first touch, I'll look downfield to double check who's pressuring and who's going back, and then I'll look back up and realize I wasn't paying attention to the direction of the ball enough, and I just completely whiffed my first touch. Cringe. Ooh, okay. Yeah, halfway through I was like, I'm not gonna be able to skim that in the way I want to. If you're dead. Aw. Ooh, pass it back to go. Aw, he didn't. That works. It's fine. Nice. It is purple. I mean, it is WU as his clan tag. I feel like that usually indicates. Third? I thought he overjumped that, and I was gonna scream. I'm like, buddy, if I give you that clean of a setup with a demo in the goal, I was like, if you overjump that aerial into GC3 match, I'm gonna scream, dude. All right, good air dribble. This is a weird air dribble. Every single person in this lobby I've seen in an SSL game. It's so funny to watch them in like a low 17. Oh, me and Rain had the exact same idea. That's funny. I almost guarantee we had the exact same idea of like, oh, he's gonna take it to the sideline. If depending on left or right, I can dunk him, and he'll never see it coming or whatever. With pre-jump. Hitting that light because I want it to be a harder clear. All right, he's going underneath. That's fine. Nice. The amount of bots ain't. Oh no, 100. Do you mean like robots? Robots? Because Shaq played a full stack of bots the other day. He sent me the replay, and actually, I was kind of blown away how it wasn't actually super apparent. But like the more you watched, I'm like, these people are like. It's like, it's not, I would say that it was definitely a beatable game. It wasn't like we're at the point where it's like you're playing Skynet, but I ran into duo bots 4 times in a row. Do you mean in 2s or? Hey, Cyberclips. Yeah, it's funny to watch 3s and you see that stuff. Alex Storm, oh my God, this guy's an OG CRL player. This is a North Texas legacy team, Too Fast, D-Bank, and Alex Storm. Try to light touch, sounds like that. I wasn't even casting in CRL when this guy was playing in CRL. That's how old she is, chat. Trying to save for 70k channel points with so much, it do be a lot. That's the reason I don't allow you to gamble, because I don't want people to be able to get the super secret bonus of the 70k without actually being able to grind for it. Bots aren't hard to beat, it's kind of sad. Oh no, 100%. Well, the bots that are hard because I think part of the reason that they're kind of weird is that fundamentally they don't make decisions humans make. Even though they're trained necessarily on human data, there's a lot of situations in SSL games where I've noticed they just don't make a decision or a movement that you're like, oh, that makes sense. But the thing is they have instant reactions. So like anytime a robot or a like human wouldn't chow, you're like, oh, I can win that. But against a bot, you're never beating them in a fast aerial, like when it's a short range aerial. Just because they know, they have the input read. Like they know exactly when you're going, they know exactly what angle they need to take. So I think moments like that is like, they're not hard to beat necessarily mechanically or whatever, or trip them up or you can demo them. But there's a lot of moments where I think people fall susceptible to the idea of like, oh wait, I know I'm not playing this the way I should. Like it's hard to recalibrate all that muscle memory and that rotational knowledge based on the fact that you're playing an algo, it feels like, you know? 20k, it's a good grind though. Wow, I was a wet paper towel right there. Like I did literally nothing interesting on that ball and I still didn't shell him. Oh, you went for that. Okay, that was a psychotic decision by that guy, I'm not gonna lie. Nice. Play a specific way to beat the bots, yeah. I would say in ones they're programmed entirely different, but like, I also have been kind of confirmed that there are multiple versions of the bots, and there's some that like people are selling and they're like actually capable of playing at a high rank. But I've noticed a couple people have bought bots that are like not good, like they're skill capped or something, because there's been a couple times in twos where I've kind of confirmed like, this guy is not playing like a regular human would, but he's not playing well. Like these aren't like the bot reactions I'm used to. These aren't like the good thing. And then I apparently found the screenshot in the Epic Discord. Someone was talking to one of the bot guys, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I have the cheaper version." And it's just like, what does that mean? Okay, a horrible double would have worked. I saw him didn't jump, so I'm like, I'm just gonna take it over and go from there. Maybe the bots have to train? I mean, they literally do train, just not in the same way we do. Like, you think you have a lot of hours? Seer has over 60,000 hours of training. Oh, I didn't think you got that close. Yeah, I was like, I have to get in the way. I don't even care about the quality of touch. Oh, love it, Alec. I didn't realize you beat him that hard. What a spawn. What? No stat pad? God, we're so low in twos right now. Sad. That game felt like the pace I like playing in twos. Where you just kind of zoom in, trusting your angles, knowing your teammates got you backed up. Those games feel good. As you guys can tell, the only games I actually get frustrated, I don't even mind losing a twos game. I only mind losing if we're losing because a teammate is like hesitating like for 9 minutes every challenge. That's like 90% of the reason I'm like, buddy, what are you doing? You look like Kevin Durant? Yeah, I get told that a lot. If you could have one mech that would be other than flipper sets, what it would be? Only have one mech? I wouldn't want fast. Imagine having can only flip resetting, but you can't air dribble. I would say fast airling. That's the #1 mechanic you need to know. You physically cannot play at a higher rank without that. Two spots not that hard, at least the ones I've gone against. I would say the hardest thing about the two spots is that they instantly score every open net. That's really the only thing. Also, for me, it's like the adjustment of human versus bot, because the bots can't air dribble. They're just very good at getting their first 2 touches and then playing for 50s. And that's the one thing that's kind of hard, is that no human plays for 50 immediately on every aerial, whereas the bots are very good at like knowing immediately when they need to go for those. And I think that's one thing my brain is like, stop challenging it like as a human. Like I have to remember it's always trying to do that. Oil up. We're gonna oil up at 100K. Like that's how I've always played against the bots, where I'm just like, it's fine, just let them hit the ball. They don't really have anything dangerous. Do not let them flick, but other than that, like you're probably fine. But then every once in a while they'll go for an aerial, and I'm like, oh, I should get up for that quick. And then I realize, oh god, they're gonna flick it over me. And then I realize, nope, they're just gonna play 50. Like 90% of the time, their air dribbles are just this. It's up, touch, and then they just do this and stay right next to it. Like that is 90% of all their air dribbles. They don't actually like carry the ball. There are bots that can do that, but a lot of them don't. And that's the hard thing, is that like every human, especially at higher rank, is going to go for like the much more complicated mechanical play. Well, I'm not queuing, sorry chat. Yeah, threes is also like a game mode that I will say lately it's been definitely infuriating. It's not just you, turret. Really good. I'm okay. 3, pray for Damar Hamlin. Shout out Damar Hamlin. Hey, it's Phantom again. Hi, Seth. This is like GC2, GC3. I don't. We're early season, so we're kind of just going up and down. A lot of solo queue. Oh, that was gonna be my goal for a sec. Alright, that worked. Cause enough chaos, that's all that matters. Hey, goats. You have Streamlabs? No, I stream off OBS. I'm not a slob, I'm an ob. That's really funny. Multiple people whiffed. We like it, Slice. Well done. Yeah, I used to have a watch time command, but there's just too many things booting. I had to boot up a Streamlabs chatbot and then separately my OBS and separately this other program, and I was just like, I don't like this. What's the best show you've made? I have no idea what you're talking about there. Show? I'm not a television producer. Do not jump slice, nice. Best shot you made? Still the most satisfying one I have had was like the cleanest air dribble I've ever hit by far. It was like one of those air dribbles where like you pre-flip into it and it just perfectly nestled on my hood. One of those plays that like I define as undefendable. Like even if the defense was like ready and waiting for a lot of that stuff, it's like you're not saving it, like just straight up. Like that was just destined to go in. That's why it was so satisfying. It might not be the most mechanically difficult, but in terms of the clean setup, there's like no aspect of that play that was like slightly off. Like everything that could have clicked did click. That to me is the clip I think of whenever people are like, what's your most memorable or favorite clip that you've hit or whatever. Sorry, Phoenix, thought you might have been closer. Fine. Fine. Give me free boost. I wasn't sure if I could go to the backboard on that. Chat, there's a really sugary ice cream custard place near me called Andy's. You guys have ever heard of that? Andy's Frozen Custard. They have a Mavericks themed thing. I think it's the Mavericks. Oh wow, I completely forgot what it's called. Anyway, it's a Mavericks themed drink, and it's like a bunch of like blue nonsense in cotton candy flavoring in vanilla custard. And I don't know why, but I just got reminded of that, and I really want one. Oh. I don't think they even have pickup. If they were on Uber, they would definitely be a great late night fix for me. In fact, that place was funny enough, the place where I met my first ever IRL, outside of a LAN recognition. Like someone came up to me and they're like, wait, you're Danger Taco? You live in they thought I still lived in Chicago. They're like, wait, what are you doing here? I was like, oh, I live near here. I'm like, what? They were like super blown away. They're like, you casted me a while back. I didn't know you lived here. That was kind of fun. Hey, we're back GC3, let's go. Whoa. Hey, that's what I work in. Oh my god, guys, we got our GC rewards. I have Andy's that is 2 minutes for me. That's dangerous, Rich, I'm not gonna lie. Wait, 2 minutes by walking or car? Because that's a little bit more separation. If there was an Andy's frozen custard within a minute or 2 minutes of walking, that would be so intensely dangerous. Car, okay, that's a little better. I will say there is a Dunkin' Donuts near me, and I do love donuts. Donuts are, to this day, the only craving I have day to day. Like, I don't know why. Just something about like a pastry. Quick Trip is 2 minutes walking. Yo, Quick Trip is pretty legit. I lived next to one in Tucson for my first job. I'm not gonna lie, I've gone there a couple times after work and I'm exhausted and I don't want to cook, and I've gotten like a little hot dog from there, or like a little taquito or whatever they have in like the roller, you know, like the pre-made stuff. Pretty good. They also had an app where you could order like breakfast bowls. Also very good. I remember my girlfriend that I had in Tucson. We would order stuff from Quick Trip. I would go down there and pick it up for in the mornings or whatever, and bring it back to her. And she was like, "This is a gas station?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "This is like shockingly good for a gas station." I'm like, "I know." For a while, I didn't even tell her it was a gas station. I just said I got her breakfast. Oh. What the? Seeing how casual so many GC2s are with double flip resets is really mind-blowing. That's a weird one. I'll stop over softball in the summer and grab an icy. I'm bleeding. You guys are gonna make me order ice cream? Oh no. Ah, I try to get the lob on that. I try to get the little pop. The pop and lock, as we call it. Nice pass. Personally, I think Exodus is a dope name. I always liked the name Eclipse. I don't know why. That was actually back in the day what my idea for like a username. I like the name Eclipse. But ultimately, I've always gone with non-edgy names. I always like goofy names for usernames. Hence, I remember someone was like, Danger Talking, well, you think that goes hard? And I'm like, no, I think it's stupid. That's why I chose it. You really thought I was trying to do that to intimidate the enemy or whatever? Like, what? But yeah, I'm sure Shadow Reaper XX is definitely gonna intimidate people. Like, is that actually how you guys choose it? I want something that strikes fear. Nah, you just want a cool looking word, buddy. Ideally something with a Z or an X in it. Lamau. X is landing in front, striking fear. Look at that fake. Sweet victory? Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way, that's an unspoken sick aspect of the Spongebob DLC. One of the player anthems is the Sweet Victory song. And it's sweet, sweet, sweet victory, yeah. Oh, no! Oh, that's so rigged, dude. That's so rigged, dude. That was a good little flick, holy. I don't know about that, buddy. Oh, sure, yeah. I'm liking Exodus a lot. I like how patient he is. I was trying to cut that inside. That was a good read by that guy. Oh. Before then he ruins it. Oh, I missed. Four goals and half these goals are awful. It might look like I'm doing well, but I am not. Nice demo. Not gonna lie, I didn't think he'd reach that. I cut that specifically so it'd go off the wall. Nah, I could hit that a little harder. Do what must be done. What's your guys' go-to cookie? Like ice cream order. Like someone asks you, you have to answer in 1 second. I feel like for me it's cookies and or cookie dough. That's always been like the order for me. Cookies and cream is pretty good. Mint chocolate chip is pretty good, but I feel like you're never gonna go wrong with cookie dough. Oh no! Throwing. Andy's cookie dough? Wait, what? I don't even know if they have a cookie dough at Andy's custard. I feel like custard isn't really conducive to. How did I cut myself? Do you guys see that? What is that? That's weird. That's not even a pimple. I just like scratched my nose and it like broke open because I had a lot of dry skin there. Oh my god, dude, I overcomplicate that freaking touch. I don't need to get it perfect. And because of that, we're gonna get scored on. Oh, never mind, Exodus. Let's go, my hero. He did the correct thing. A little wide. Never underestimate the value of rolling the dice on you getting salmonella by eating just raw cookie dough out of the tub. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, the raw thrill of raw cookie dough. Whoa, no, 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 you are not lagging me out. Oh my God. DDoSer revealed? There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. Oh, you bitch! Oh, that's so stupid. Did I get a loss for that? That was so dumb. Okay. That's crazy. They just shut down the whole fucking thing. Bang moms all day. How is that allowed as a name? That was mutual destruction, though. I didn't think they were DDoSing me as much as they just crashed the server. Like, I don't even think they just didn't want to lose. They just crashed the server so they didn't take MMR loss. Because that was not, like, just me getting lagged out and they could keep playing. Like, I think everyone just got yeeted. Oh. Overcomplicated that. My bad. Oh, I missed the boost, dude. Gonna count for win or loss? I think it just crashes the server. I don't think anything happens. It's fine. Bums? Yep. Good bump. Virgin behavior, holy. And then you mess up your irritable and waste all that boost you just stole. Come on, buddy. These people have used 400 boost and have not left their corner. Oh my gosh. There you go. John Rocket League would have scored that goal. Jonathan P. Rocket League, the founder of Rocket League. Oh. You guys are pretty confident in their chows, I'm not gonna lie. Alright. Well, we stole that off the nose, so that works. I don't know what Panda Man was doing. He literally saw me chasing that, and he was like, he probably won't chase that. Like, okay. Infinite time to aerial. Don't even need to aerial, and we miss. Oh my goodness. Third highest rank of the game, by the way. Top 1%. Sorry, teammate. Actually, that's a really good setup. Ah, if you didn't use your flip. Nice, teammate. Okay, good. I got a bump on him, so I'm like, if you... I bumped him, but that slows me down. So I'm like, if you miss this, it is a goal. Like, just straight up. So, glad we locked in. Good to see. All right, teammate, I'm going to go around. Can you chow? Perfect. And then I get the follow-up. Nice. Then you tap one middle. Nice. And then I go back post. Ah. I sped that up a little bit. I thought I was about to get bumped. I jumped instead of flipping. Nice 50. Okay, these guys are very direct on their chows, but it also makes them very awkward for getting actually reads on it. Nice, teammate. Nice. Let's see if these guys want to DDoS too. They do not. All right, cool. Or they're just waiting until it's comedically hilarious too. Not really sure why they're still queuing, unless one of them is like a much lower rank and it's like, I want to see what it's like to play against GC2s or whatever. That's also a very twos thing. All right, we're getting back close to 1700. Slowly but surely. Yep, one of those guys a diamond. Hilarious name, but yeah, I don't know how they're allowed that. Oh, Empanada. I believe there was a player that used to play on University of British Columbia. Oof. That cut was supposed to be an entirely different angle. Love how many times I missed a boost. Oh my god. Very easy clear and I missed. Are you Canadian? I would never dare. Three straight times I missed. I promise I'm not trolling, Empanada. That's crazy. What is happening, dude? Okay, Eminem was panicking like a crazy man right there. Like this one, he didn't even have to flick, but he flicked. And then he actually could have bailed himself out, but then he freaked out again. So I'm like, all right, well. I'm not going to blame him too bad, because I did throw the first 2 goals this game, but... Please demo him. Ah, close. Bowl of cereal, just as much dairy and sugar. I don't know about as much dairy, but it is a lot of sugar. Well, depending on what you're eating. I always thought Rice Krispies was a funny cereal. It's very much like, compared to everything else, it's very much like, yep, this does taste like it would just be rice. They made up for it for the Rice Krispie treat, though. All right, very bad game right there. I've lost all interest in continuing today, so I'm going to end stream. See you guys.